Alright, hi Capricorn. Welcome to this week's reading. The deck that I'm using this week, we have a card that flipped over. Ooh, okay. The High Priestess was already flipped over in the deck, and when I tried to put it back in, she flew out, so I feel like you guys are definitely feeling intuitive this week. But like I was saying, the deck that I'm using this week is the Bianco Nero Tarot by Marco Prieto, and I really like it because it has this really beautiful black and white motif, and I thought it was really fitting for this week leading up to Halloween. Interesting. Oh, sorry. Sorry, you guys. I got a notification on, or not a notification, but an app. My phone asked me to verify my Apple ID, so I hope it didn't like ruin the video for you guys. Okay. That's really good. As your overall energy, you got the Queen of or the Two of Cups. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one over here. So I see a lot of good energy. The Two of Cups as your overall energy definitely tells me that you could be dealing with like a soulmate this week, or maybe somebody who's gonna leave a really big impact in your life. And I see a lot of twos, actually. I see the Two of Cups, Two of Wands, and Two of Swords. So maybe if you're seeing synchronicities like 2-2-2, or maybe even like 3-3-3, or yeah, because I'm seeing the Three of Cups and the Empress, and then there's the Six of Swords and Six of Wands. So you might be seeing a lot of synchronicities this week. So keep an eye out for the watch. Keep an eye on the clock. Maybe you'll see some repeating numbers, or just like street names, or I'm also getting for you some like animals. So you might see something with like swans, because swans sort of mate for life. Anything that's like that. But moving on to your actual reading, I see that you have the Two of Cups as your overall energy, and then you have the Three of Cups. So I definitely see some progression here. I definitely see progression from like 2 to 3. So for a lot of you guys, I feel like you might be dealing with a soulmate from the past, because to me, the Three of Cups talks about reunions a lot of the times. So when you have the Two of Cups, it talks about like soulmates, and what will typically happen a lot of times with twin flames is you'll see a lot of separation during the time periods that they have to go off and work on themselves. So some of you might actually even be dealing with a twin flame or like a higher level soulmate, and that's why you have this Three of Cups, is because you've already done your separation and you've already done your work. But I feel like that only applies for a select group of you guys. And then, oh yeah, there it is again, the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. So you see even more progression. I feel like perhaps in the past you were a little bit more immature on the communication side. Capricorns have the tendency to be a little blunt, and like all the earth signs, they have the tendency to be very honest, and sometimes painfully so. So you may have hurt this person in the past with your words, but now I feel like you're coming back, and it's instead of the Knight of Swords who is rushes in quickly and says things, you're the King of Swords, which you're a little bit more mature. You understand that your words have weight, and that not everyone interprets or communicates in the same way that you do. So you need to sort of pick your words a little bit more in relation to talking to other people, especially when dealing with other people's feelings, because it's really hard to know exactly how someone will emotionally respond to something when you go and say it. So here we also have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords talks about contemplation and stalemate. I feel like you guys might just have the soulmate on the mind right now. For a lot of you, you might really be wanting to come in because, like I said, soulmate instead of stalemate, sort of like a Freudian slip. I feel like a lot of you guys are in the same energy. And in the past, you definitely would have gone in sort of guns a-blazing with this Knight of Swords, but with this High Priestess and the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords, there's definitely some level of reluctance to go in really quickly, right? I feel like a lot of you guys are using your intuition, so you kind of know that you need to be a little bit slower on the draw. The High Priestess is sort of letting you know what you need to do and how you need to do it, and that's telling me that that's sort of these Two of Swords and Two of Wands. I feel like you already know what's going to go down, but you're trying to figure out how to get it there. So whenever I see the Two of Wands, I usually say that it's like the second step in a 3-step process, right? So the Ace of Wands is like a new beginning, a new situation, and you're like taking in all the information. And then the Two of Wands is like, I've taken in the information, now I'm deciding what to do with it. And then the Three of Wands is, I've decided what to do with it, I've done it, and now I'm waiting to see the results. Which is interesting, because you have the Two of Swords, which usually is more of a, the energy is more akin to sort of the Three of Swords. So you're definitely in this Knight of Swords energy where you're slowing down, you're winding down a little bit, you're trying to really decide what to do. Especially with that Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is, like I was saying, a very like immature energy, but I feel like this week you're tempering that out. If you're dealing with a Sagittarius, I'd suggest looking at their reading, because there's the Page of Wands and the Empress, which they both got as well. So, but that's kind of what I feel right now. I feel like maybe in the past you would have just went in, no holds bar, but now with the High Priestess and the King of Swords, you're taking a little bit more of a step back. And I feel like the reason you need to take a more of a step back with the High Priestess and all these two energies, Two of Wands and the Two of Swords, is because there's a Tower moment coming in for you. I feel like perhaps there's something in your life that might not be... Definitely if you're dealing with a twin flame, expect to have a lot of Tower moments, because when you go off and do your healing, there's a lot of sort of generational work that you need to do. There's a lot of shadow work that you need to do, and a lot of it can be very painful, and a lot of it can be very Tower moment. So maybe that you're at a point right now where you're like, I know that I want to be together with this person, but I just gotta finish up my work. And I feel like you're finishing it up quickly, especially with this Empress. Like, you're definitely getting into this Empress energy, or maybe you're wanting to become the Emperor, because to me, like, the Emperor is the King of Kings, right? So you have this King of Swords energy here. So you've already mastered your communication, and I get the impression that you're already like the King of Pentacles and maybe the King of Wands as well. So it's like you're working up to become that emperor, to become this, to go meet your empress. And I know that whatever you have planned with the Six of Wands that popped up at the end of the reading, you're definitely going to achieve it. You're definitely going to see that success, because you have the Wands and the Swords already now, and now you're just looking to get the Two of Cups. But yeah, Capricorn, that was your reading for this week. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment. It really helps out the channel, and I'd love to know if it resonated. If you'd like to stick around, please subscribe and tune in next week on Monday, because that's when I upload my readings. And I sincerely hope to see you guys in your next weekly reading.